Hi everyone, I'm Phil Spencer and today I'm going to let you in on the latest property trend, build to rent. It's new, it's fast growing and it's something that you should know about if you're renting. Before we get started, could I just say, be sure to subscribe to this channel. If you're on YouTube, click the bell for alerts so you don't miss all my advice on this and any other important home-related topics that we cover. There are loads of them. If you haven't yet heard of Build to Rent, known as BTR, these developments are a cluster of at least 50 homes, usually apartments, purpose-built to let to private tenants. In early 2020, there were over 40,000 build-to-let apartments across the UK, with roughly another 100,000 planned or being built at the moment. That sounds like a lot, but there are 5 million households renting privately, so as things stand, BTR is still going to be a very small part of the sector. So how is build-to-rent different? Firstly, BTR blocks usually have better facilities and a higher spec than many privately let flats, which tend to be converted houses owned and managed by individual landlords. For instance, a BTR scheme at Wembley Park in North London has ultra-fast broadband and an on-site gym included in the rent. Some have concierge services and high-end communal facilities like media rooms, lounge areas, even swimming pools. Definitely factor that into the rent. But most will allow tenants to keep well-behaved pets. Secondly, BTR has a reputation for being well-managed with on-site teams to deal with issues nice and quick. The standard tenancy is 3 to 5 years rather than the 6 months elsewhere in the private sector. So that allows renters to plan for the longer term. And the rent is all-inclusive, with any increases set out in writing at the start of the tenancy, unlike individual landlords who may increase the rent frequently with little explanation. BTR blocks are typically funded by financial institutions who see them as long-term investment, and that is the key point. They appoint lettings agents or BTR companies to run the properties, and these represent the landlords. Yes, of course they do. They're also likely to be within a recognised redress scheme, such as the Property Ombudsman, who will independently assess any complaints that can't be resolved with the landlord's representatives. Some of the top BTR companies beginning to emerge here include Greystar, which is an American one, Get Living, Fizzy Living, and Granger, which is just about to construct BTR apartments near London Tube and bus hubs. Of course, BTR tenants pay more for all those extra facilities, but BTR homes are typically rented by young professionals on above average salaries. So this sector is not necessarily an answer to the affordability problem. But the government is very much encouraging BTR because the quality of these apartments may well drive up standards across the rental sector. And higher standards and communal aspects also suit older renters. And that's a demographic that's growing too. In fact, it's estimated that by 2040, up to 1/3 of 60-year-olds will rent privately, along with a predicted 40% of under 35s. A key thing for me, I think, is the longer tenancy and the security that the flat that you rent isn't about to be sold or the landlord wants to move back in. The institutions have gone into that for long term. Their business model is to let it. Anyway, I'd love to hear if you've looked into or are perhaps even living in a build to rent property. Please do share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching.